I or do I not tell my spouse? Go get an STD check. The need to say anything.
Or how much money do you make? How much money do you really make,
I
right?
promise you, we can actually even end right here. Your marriage will never work.
And we'll tell you why.
Divorce rate, I mean, have you just noticed that the divorce rates are just much higher these days?
Yeah, I notice everybody's leaving everybody. We've got friends, family, celebrities. We've got phone call after phone call. Here's the thing. If you two never sit down and discuss your finances, things such as...
say credit scores.
Yeah.
Credit scores. So if you're not in alignment with your partner's credit rating, there could be financial ruin at that point. What else we got?
Well, expenses, right? I, like any other person, love a good purse, right? But that could get expensive, especially the purses that I like.
An expensive habit.
Expensive habit, and that could tank a relationship.
Yeah, watches, jewelry, things that you would do, say like behind your spouses or your boyfriend and girl. And when I say boyfriend and girlfriend, you're contemplating about becoming engaged, right? So why put yourself in financial ruin if you don't understand what's ahead? Right? There's nothing wrong with talking about credit scores. There's nothing wrong with talking about expenses. Like, what are some of your guilty pleasures? Like you mentioned, a purse, right? Or jewelry, watches.
Or how much money do you make? How much money do you really make, right? Sometimes you want to present your best self, so you inflate your income. Things like that are important.
Upcoming bonuses. The secret. The corporate secret. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a bonus this month. Do I or do I not tell my spouse?
Have you done that?
Right? I've been an entrepreneur for a very, very long time. I don't think there is any secrets. But when we were dating, sure, maybe I did get bonuses.
And you didn't tell me?
Maybe I didn't feel the need to say anything.
This is why your marriage will not work.
Your marriage will not work if you hide these things. Mysteriously, magically, ours did, right? But we learned to then respect each other's position in life and understand why credit scores are important, why bonuses, upcoming bonuses are important, right? So your marriage will fail if you do not understand this.
So what I really want you to do is sit down with yourself and your spouse and write it out. The dirty, and the ugly. I have a guilty pleasure. I like purses. So I need to write that into my expenses. I need to be honest about the fact that, hey, I'm going to buy a purse and this is my expense, so that I could build that into a relationship.
Right. And don't just take it from us. Who are we? We're just on the internet. We're just YouTubers just telling you. Look at your own statistics. Look at your relationships that are actually thriving. I guarantee they have an open relationship, not an open relationship, but relationships. Financial open relationship where they understand where their income and where their expenses are going, right?
Right. And who knows? Like, people could find ways to budget it in. I don't have to sneak those items into the house, right? Because it's been budgeted in and it's welcomed.
I promise you, we can actually even end right here. We can end right here because that's a lot to digest, and I think this would actually make a lot of sense in relationships in terms of longevity. But we've got some bonus material. We're gonna keep going. Let's just say in a relationship, one's a hustler and the other's not.
It may not work then.
It may not work.
Right? Somebody's always going to be carrying the other, or feel like they're carrying the other. They're similar to what you just mentioned. Like, you have to be in alignment with each other.
The woman, she's a go-getter. She's a 6-figure earner. She comes home, her husband or boyfriend, they're at home playing Call of Duty all day long, and their sense of responsibility is to feed the pets, right?
Well, I'm a hustler and I want to make sure that things are taken care of. Eventually, right, I outgrow that person, or I carry that person with me.
Let's save that.
Here's another thing. Okay, we'll come back to it.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So Steve Harvey mentioned a wagon. This is always the example that I use. And he mentioned how your wagon is what you're carrying through life. So if my partner or spouse is at home playing video games and I'm out here working hard, hustling, meaning working hard, not hustling in the other sense, but that person is pulling my wagon and making life harder for me, making it harder for me to go up and down the hills of life. So tell me, what about the one that's still a player out in the streets, running the streets?
And they're in a relationship?
Yeah.
So they're either boyfriend, girlfriend, they're either engaged, they take it to that next step, or they're even married.
Okay.
And this person is still out there in the streets, they're going to parties, they're hanging out in clubs, they've got friends that kind of support that habit.
Right.
Easy. Go get an STD check. It's gonna be that simple. Go get an STD check. And I'm not saying the other person, whether it's the male or female out there in the streets, you go get an STD check, right? Ensure that everything is okay. Then talk about, right? Like, don't waste any time. Then talk about how you two are just not seeing eye to eye,
Yeah.
right? One's in the
Could
streets
be.
and the other one's waiting in the streets.
But how does
in the
that
sheets.
pertain to somebody financially, right? Because you got to spend money in the streets. Keep it real. You got to spend money in the streets. You can't stay out in the streets for free.
No, you can't. But I'm sure there's a lot of venues out there. There are a lot of bars that you can walk into, and you're hanging out with friends, and people are giving you drinks. Anyway, all right, we're
okay.
Yeah,
But we're still talking about finances, so
Yep.
let's keep going.
How your friends integrate in your life. We've heard of season and reason. We are giving you the bonus material. Season and reason. So what do you think about that? Just your friends.
We could have friends that do different things, and that's the season part of it, right? They're there for a short period of time. They're there to learn a lesson. But I would like to make sure that
Let me clear it up.
tell me.
Let me clear it up. You've got your friends that you can always call to go party. Like, let's just get out.
Yeah, but that's not a great thing in a marriage.
No, it's not. But you've got friends that are, hey, let me lean on you when I need to talk about maybe religion, right? Just kind of calm down and let's just talk about the book and how it relates to life as it is right now. And you've got friends that you call on for moral support.
Well, how do you integrate that into your lives? I think you really need to consider what friends are going to support, empower, and elevate your marriage to your spouse.
Exactly. Exactly. So how do all of these outside influences, party, religion, moral support, financial, social media, how does all of this actually support your marriage? And if you can come to an
And family.
and family, and if all of you can, if you can integrate all of this into your relationship, that's a win-win. But if you cannot, if that group of partiers are actually just pulling you down, there's something to think about, right?
Definitely.
So then you revert back to the last one, go get that STD check. I think that's just kind of super important, right?
Okay.
If you still have that party life and that mentality.
And think about this. Just because I'm out in the streets doesn't mean I'm doing something. It just means that my priority isn't in my home.
Sure. But again, you have to be in alignment, right? You have to know.
True.
And do you know?
True.
You have no idea. You have to know.
You should also have an agreement of where you both want to see each other or see yourselves in the next 3 years. And what does that look like? Being very clear, like what people are you associating with? How are they going to play a role? How is your spouse going to play a role? I really want people to think about you out there. I want you to think about what does your life look like in the next 3 years, and ask your spouse, do they align? Do they not align? Are they in totally opposite directions? That's really information you want to know.
No, I actually like that. And then again, let's just say the next 3 years, right? If I am telegraphing who and what I want to be in the next 3 years, well, my spouse has to be able to literally adapt to that new life, that new person. We change constantly, right? I am not the same person you met 20 years ago. I'm not the same person you met 10 years ago.
Tell me more about that, because you have changed. Adapt probably wouldn't be, I would say, grow with, because just because you change, you could change for the worse. And I shouldn't adapt to that, or vice versa. I should be able to kind of call you out on some of the things that you've changed in.
Yeah.
We do that, but being able to accept that in love, right? I want to be able to give that to you in love and not give it to you in in a way that's uncomfortable or not uplifting to you. And that is another reason that I feel marriages have not been working, is because how do we connect? How do I lift you up and how do you lift me up versus tear you down?
That's good. Let's leave it there. That's a great question for everybody to go in and start asking. So that's good. Let's move on to the next bonuses for everybody. How do you value money? Right? How is your relationship with money? Is there financial infidelity?
Okay, I'm gonna be real honest on that one. There's been some financial infidelity over here. I have been a person that has loved my clothes, my purses, and all of those things. And I too have snuck a couple of purses, a couple of shoes, and a couple of outfits into this house.
Well, that's okay.
I cheated on you financially.
That's I don't know. I don't want to say that's good to know, but those are some things that we have to actually, that's got to change, right? So as we grow in our relationship, financial infidelity has to be laid out on the table, because we need to understand how those items are going to be paid off, right? Are they going to be paid off within the month so that you don't incur interest on the credit card debt? Or is it going to carry a balance, a secret balance that's actually just weighing you down?
Right.
Right? And that alone brings on stress. So there could have been times where I'm like, why is this lady stressed out? Well, it's because of your financial infidelity weighing you down on the bills that you have, right? And
say that again.
That I don't know about. So that's pretty dangerous. But you have to think about how serious this is, right?
Yeah,
People have an addiction to alcohol.
Yeah.
Right? Financial infidelity. Where are you spending your money on drugs? Where are you spending your money? And if you're hiding that from your spouse, your fiance, or your boyfriend and girlfriend, your marriage will never work. It didn't and it hasn't. So you have to be able to put these things out on the table and understand how financial infidelity is going to impact your relationship going forward.
Right. And honestly, right, when you are able to be transparent and vulnerable with your spouse, that's where the growth happens. Financial infidelity or not, you want to be able to share the ups and downs financially with your spouse. So if you're hiding something, pay it off and bring it to the table, right? I feel I would like to clarify that I don't do that anymore. There's different financial goals that I have, so I'm not cheating financially, if that's a word. But also one thing that I want you to mention is subscriptions. Those are like a killer. We have subscribed to so many things, and those small debits from our account, they add up. And are you using them, right? Are you using that app still?
And we've gotten better.
Yeah.
We've gotten better at, small apps, small subscriptions. One of our largest is we cut the cable, we cut the cord.
Yeah.
But we had to come to an agreement to do that,
right?
So that there was no financial infidelity, kind of sneaking, having a subscription off to the side, watching, the NFL package and all those things. So, super important call of action. Make sure that you are bringing everything to the table. If the person is not willing to share with you, let's just say their credit score, their expenses, their income, future bonuses, then you are in fact going to have an issue in your relationship, in your marriage, in your dating. So bring those things to the table. And those are all the bonuses. This was pretty good.
That's it. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Comment below, like the video. When you like it, it lets us know that this is the type of we've been getting a lot of likes. So this is why we're heading in a direction of just complete vulnerability. So comment, subscribe, like, leave comments below. Till next time.